Good afternoon. Happy Saturday, Miami Dolphins fans. Welcome back to Dolphins on 5 from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. I'm David Eversole, joined by Alfredo Artiega. We have another guest with us today as well, Jacob Meschel from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. So make sure to follow him at Fins_Dynasty. Before we jump on, I want to mention one of our flagship sponsors here at the network, Prize Picks Daily Fantasy. Promo code FIVE for 100% deposit match. We're really getting excited about this season, obviously, and they have some great NFL futures picks. You can play MLB, mix and match sports from 2 to 5 players. So make sure to sign up and deposit with that promo code FIVE. So good afternoon, guys. Thanks for being with us. I know it was a super exciting day of practice today. So how are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. And after that bomb today, it's hard to it's difficult to just boil down an entire practice to just one play. But if there was ever a practice where you just, you just put everything all into one single play and have it describe how you feel after watching one practice, it was that one play from Tua Tagovailoa to Tyreek Hill. It's one of the best plays I've seen in practice, especially with this quarterback, and in a very long time, really. I'll describe it when we get into it a little bit later. And when I describe it, you'll see why I'm so over the moon on this play, because it really is. It's a unicorn. Like you're watching, it's a rainbow. It's what you saw today as Dolphin fans. It's something you don't see every day. And it's only made possible because Tyreek Hill is insanely fast.
Yeah, against the secondary too. So Jacob, you were there today as well. So what was the overall vibe? I know today was the first day where they had fans. It was an open practice, and day 4, the hype machine's been going. I mean, they're already planning the parade route down Northwest 27th here in Miami Gardens. But we love the optimism. Obviously, it's early, but give us some of your takeaways just of the overall feel of the team on this first day of open practice, Jacob.
Yeah, so this is my first time out there this year. I know Alfredo's been to all the other ones, but I didn't really know what to expect. I was watching the recaps. I was listening to all the recaps of all the beat reporters and everyone describing the previous practices and training camps. But yeah, I didn't know really what to expect, and it just exceeded all my expectations today. Tua looked sharp. Tyreek Hill, everything as advertised. The vibe was incredible. Like starting out the day, Tyreek Hill was the one to just hype the entire crowd up. It was, you couldn't see really many empty seats up there. And Fins Nation was definitely brought the energy. Tyreek Hill brought the energy. A few other players also brought the energy, but it was definitely a different vibe than last year for sure. What I could say, I think fans are excited, and you also see with the whole sold out crowd this year for the first time in Dolphins history, like the results are there. We got a little taste of it today, but I think judging from what I saw today, Dolphins fans are going to be very pleased if they can continue this trend.
Yeah, Alfredo, you said this was probably the busiest practice that you've seen in a long time. So just tell us some of your thoughts, and obviously that big play with Tyreek, what the vibe was like for those of us that weren't able to be there today.
Well, the day started off with Tyreek Hill giving a pep talk to the fans, telling them all to get their popcorn ready. He did a backflip. And then Blaise Andreas, who's a backup interior lineman. I can't tell you exactly where he's playing, but he's a backup interior lineman on the team. And he's a rookie. And, if you listen to our podcast, Chris Kaufman is really high on him. Chris Kaufman thinks that he'll make the team and he'll be a guy that can contribute in a pinch. He comes out and he does like a Stone Cold impersonation. He brings out 2 cans, smashes them together, and then shotguns them both in front of the fans. Like, it was a different atmosphere out there. It really was. And one thing I noticed is when I took my seats right next to Jacob, we were in the very, very, very top row, so we could see, the field well. And I started seeing it started filling up. And it got to the point where there was people sitting in front of us. Okay, the media was right up against the fans. It was a packed house. Like there was an ass in every single seat. It was really an incredible atmosphere. It really was. For a practice, it was a great atmosphere. As far as that play, I said I was going to talk a little bit more about it, and I will. Noah Benogany recognizes the route combination because it's Jalen Waddle's on a crosser and Tyreek Hill is on the go, right? But he's on a go post. So Noah Benogany immediately recognizes the route because two guys won't run the same thing on the same side, right? So he recognizes it and he starts bailing on it because he thinks it's a deep post. So Noah Benogany has like a head start on it on the route. Javon Holland sees this and bites on the crosser because he figures, okay, Noah Benogany read the play pretty well and he has this play pretty well covered. Tyreek Hill just ran right past him. And then, Noah Benogany, when he's, that the old term, if he's even, he's leaving. Noah Benogany, I'm pretty sure at some point thinks, okay, this is pretty far out there. I don't know if Tua could get it out here, out in front. So I'm just going to be, I should be okay if I'm here in trail. Tua just put it out there. And Tyreek had to actually run to get it. It was about 60 air yards. It was a majestic throw. But more importantly, what Tyreek Hill did on that play is something we haven't seen here in a very, very long time. A guy that just outruns good coverage. He just did. And for those of you that are on Twitter saying, why would the safety not stay deep? Well, there's no reason to stay deep. Noah Benogany had it covered. And not only did he have it covered, he had to play diagnosed. It's just that Tyreek Hill is too fast. And he ran past the good coverage. So, yeah, it was an incredible play. It really was.
And that's what makes good teams great, obviously, when you're even and you read the play well. But, it's just that separation of athleticism that puts them on the top. So, Jacob, what about on the defense? I know, obviously, that big play kind of went against them. But who stood out for you on the defensive side of the ball for the Dolphins today?
Yeah, it's hard to not talk about the offense, but the defense, Christian Wilkins was in the backfield a lot. His name has been up there every single day of camp. I think this is going to be his big year. I know he set records last year, but I think he's got this could be his best year so far. So yeah, he's the guy who really stood out to me. Javon Holland continues to be a ball hawk. Like I was talking to a bunch of people today. Even when he's not in the play, he's in the play. And I know that sounds cliche, but he really is. He's really got the best instincts on this team, arguably. He comes from everywhere. He reminds me of so many like different types of players that have these same qualities of the instinct. He's got the IQ, and he's I mean he got the orange jersey again today. So I mean that speaks dividends, and I think the coaches love him as well.
Yeah, so no, that's good to see. Obviously, these guys matching up every day, just going to make them all better across the board. Obviously, with Tyreek Hill versus that secondary, they're just going to be working hard, and those guys are going to want to come back and try to match up with them a little bit better on the next go around. So, given that, Alfredo, I want to talk a little bit. Obviously, we've been on the real positive narrative so far this first week of camp, but anybody that the Dolphins fans to maybe be a little bit concerned about early on, anybody kind of looking out of place out there, or on the other side of the coin, just anything that we can look at there and dissect a little bit. I know it's early, but obviously,
well, it's twofold. One thing is, first of all, the team does have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They're going to do this to a lot of cornerbacks, and they're going to do it to Nick Needham and Noah Benogany, how they have been doing it to them for the last few days. Noah Benogany and Nick Needham have had a rough time the last few days, but I'm going to chalk it up to just these guys are just too good. And, it's hard to go up against those guys for as many reps as they have so far. I will say this. There was one rep, which was pretty eye-popping, which was Xavier Howard and Jalen Waddle on a 6-yard hitch. Got really physical with those two guys. You could tell that they were competing at a very high level. Tua stuck it in there. Waddle made the catch. Xavier Howard closed on it really, really well. You could see that, you could see the competition, when it's at that level, it gets revved up a little bit more. And at some point, those guys, especially in that secondary, that they're going to want to put an end to to all of these highlights and all these celebrations in the end zone. Another guy I have to add is Braylon Sanders continues to impress. Today he had he caught a back shoulder throw, one-handed, falling out of bounds, toe tapped it on the sideline, first down. It was on one-on-ones, but still, you make a one-handed catch and keep your feet in bounds for about a 20-yard gain. I don't care if it's one-on-one or by yourself. That has to be kind of impressive. And then, of course, after he did that, he hit another celebration. So that's a guy to watch. This wide receiver group is pretty deep, and they keep making plays every single day. So if they keep making plays every single day, the guys that you have to say, okay, you're a little bit concerned about, maybe Noah Benogany, and I wouldn't be too concerned about Nick Needham, but Noah Benogany, this is his chance to try to really cement the backup boundary role over Trill Williams. Every day, like today, even though, like I said, that was a superhuman play. Something like that happens, you got to figure, Trill Williams probably moves up a little bit on the depth chart. Maybe he gets some reps next practice. So, yeah, if those guys are shining, obviously the secondary have to be the guys that are not.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always going to be, a yin to the yang. So before we wrap up, Jacob, give us your single player of the day today from practice.
I know 3 yards per carry said Hill, but I got to give it to Tua. Like, you could go either way. Tyreek Hill it was placed perfectly. I've never seen Tua deliver that accurate of a ball in my life so far. And maybe in college he did it, but not in the NFL. It was a perfect spiral. You usually have a couple of wobbly ones by Tua, but he really proved today that he's capable of a type of throw like that. I don't know how much exactly it traveled in the air, but it got to be at least like 50 yards in the air. And it was right in the breadbasket into his hands. And I think the key of that, like, it wasn't a very dirty pocket. It was a pretty clean pocket. And he was able to get that throw off. Last year, you would never be able to get a throw off like that. Obviously, the addition of Teron Armstead, who was absent today. But the pocket held up. Obviously, they weren't going full speed, full anything like that. And you're not really allowed to hit the quarterback. But you could see if you give Tua that kind of pocket space, then he will be able to deliver beautiful balls. And I think the media narrative is now going to switch. Tua's noodle arm is going to be Tua's iron arm. So, good stuff from him there today. I think he proved a lot of doubters wrong, and that clip is going viral right now. So it's really giving me a lot of satisfaction that it's proving all of the noodle arm people out there wrong.
Definitely. All right, Alfredo, who's your POD today?
Well, I called it on 3 yards per carry. It was Tyreek Hill. I thought Tua was great. I thought he was really good today. He could have won the player of the day, but I give it to Tyreek Hill because it was just consistent, and it was all day, and it was with both quarterbacks. Tyreek Hill even made another play on a 25-yard crosser. It was more like a sluggo, but it was about 25 yards on Nick Needham from Teddy Bridgewater. So he made plays with both quarterbacks, huge plays with Tua. So Tyreek Hill was my guy. Another guy that I thought flashed enough today to start thinking about, his role on this offense is Chase Edmonds. Like, he looked like he had a pep in his step today. I know they weren't hitting, so it's hard to judge running backs when nobody's hitting anybody. Okay. But his cuts were sharp. He was quick out of breaks on especially on when he was running routes out of the backfield. So, Chase Edmonds is a guy that I can't wait to see in pads and to see if he pays dividends as well.
Yeah, I think he's really going to do well in this scheme, obviously, carrying over from Mike McDaniel. I think it's going to be a great season to watch as that side of the ball obviously unfolds. Everybody's talking about the passing game, but I think the running game is going to be something that could really be special as well. So I want to thank Alfredo and Jacob for joining us today. We'll be back on Monday with another report from Dolphins camp. Make sure to follow 3 yards per carry and the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Thanks, everybody.